Hello everybody, this is Jerry Mateo with The DAW. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new plugin from Air Music Tech. This is a well-established company that has made plugins for Pro Tools for years. Pretty much all stock instruments, and a lot of their really famous plugins are actually made from Air Music Technology, and they sell a third-party version, which is VST, audio units, AAX. They even have an expanded library, and this is their newest plugin. Right now, this is a beta version, but this is the Air Soft Clipper. And just looking at it, it's a very simple design. In the basic mode, you basically just have a drive and an output level. You're able to drive it in, and you can see that you can get a ton of saturation. This is a soft clipper, so you can use this gently on your master bus. You can use this on drums, but it's a very simple post level drive control, and it has a ton, 1,000% gain. Going into the advanced menu, you have True Peak, anti-aliasing filters, as well as stereo linking and a release control, which will actually change the way that the harmonics work and the way that it sounds. It's really cool, really depending on the harmonics that are generated. You'll also see that you have 3 different saturation algorithms. The first one is a relatively low to low mid focused algorithm. As you see here, driving it all the way, you're basically getting a ton of saturation in the low to the low mid frequencies. Sine is a more even spread, where it eventually just kind of evenly distributes itself out, while parabolic is kind of like a more aggressive, always sounding saturated kind of tone. And of course, there is anti-aliasing features, so you can remove some of the artifacts. You can see right there, cleans it up pretty well. Now, I did say if you use the release control, you can actually fine tune this, and that's going to give you a different sound. It's very interesting because I notice when you turn it off, there's less artifacts. When you turn it on, there seems to be more, but I think it's because you're actually tuning the way that it's working as an envelope. You have a post level, output level, and a mix knob, so you can do parallel processing, and that's pretty much it. This is a really simple plugin. So let's just jump in and see how it sounds. So we jump into Nuendo, and right now I have a session called Moon. This is a demo that my little brother recorded with his friends a few years back before he passed away. Everything is done using one of those like iZotope interfaces, so super lo-fi, and we're basically using Air plugins to remix it. So if we actually come here and we look at the drums, which is what we're really going to be focusing on, you'll see that I have the Air Soft Clipper on the kick drum right here and the snare drum. So the first thing I'm going to do is bypass them, and let's just take a listen to everything. So I'm using the kick and snare because I find that kick and snares really do benefit from using clipping. So I'm going to turn on a new instance of the Air Soft Clipper, again in beta mode, and I am going to go into the advanced portions, and we're going to dial in this kick drum saturation. Now I am using a virtual instrument to retrigger because the original drums are just this kind of mono track that I've turned into stereo. So we're going to use the soft clipper to kind of add some coloration. Let's check out the different algorithms, and let's see what works best for us. I find the first algorithm kind of has this really thick sound, and I think it's because it focuses more on the lower to low mid frequency content versus sine and parabolic, which are more wideband, and parabolic is just super distorted. But I want to control this, so this is a stereo kick, so let's make it stereo linked. Cool. So I'm getting a decent kind of a attack sound where I'm able to kind of increase the RMS without losing too much impact. But let's try the release, because this is a really cool thing. So check this out. We're going to completely change the tone of the saturation. It's a pretty significant change. So we're going to bypass it. I'm going to match the gains. Okay. And we're going to do the post level. And I'm going to do a tiny bit more saturation. A lot more impact. Really that simple. I love that. The next one is going to be the snare. Now this is going to be a pretty well recorded snare because it's a sample. But I'm going to use the Airsoft Clipper to give us some impact. Now this is something that I use quite often. I love saturation on snares. Now we could probably keep this at the basic stripped down version. You can really hear the distortion here. You hear how the first algorithm kind of distorts more in the low end and it kind of farts out a little bit more, mainly because it's focusing in those frequencies. So let's try the release control. See how it kind of like makes it sound like it's sucking in a little bit more? I like it. The release control is actually kind of cleaning it up, which is so weird because in the analyzer, it doesn't look like it is. But I guess because it's changing the response of it, it's really giving us a nice added character. So let's bypass. All right, so I've made this slightly quieter than it originally was. We're going to bypass it. Turn it on. I dig it. Let's just see how this works. So I'm going to bypass both the clippers. You'll see right here. And we can actually just bring them both up. So let's bring this one. Listen to the kick and snare and how they kind of disappear.
Walk beneath the stars, drink Coke out of glass bottles and toast to Mars with your universal charm.
It just kind of helps it pop out. And now that it is popping out, because I like the frequency content, I can now work on my volume balance to make it kind of slightly lower in the mix while still having that punch and aggression. I'm essentially gaining some headroom in this mix, which is one of the things that I use clippers on the most. And I can even do something like put it on my drum bus if needed. But because this is a very simple overhead and then a couple of samples for the kick and snare using a virtual instrument, I don't really see that big of a need. Now that I like the snare balance, I can grab something like a reverb plugin and really kind of hone it in. I know this is a pretty quick and dirty video, but this is a really easy plugin to use. I really like the extremely low CPU usage. You have anti-aliasing, you have stereo linking, you have true peak, you have release controls, 3 different algorithms, drive controls, post level. I'm really glad to see that they're keeping to the simplified UIs with very efficient CPU and a high quality algorithm behind it. I will leave an affiliate link down below. You can grab a demo. If you like it, you can get a copy and a tiny slight kickback comes back to me. If not, totally fine. But I do like this plugin. It sounds cool. It's efficient. And what else can I say? That's how plugins should be. This is Jeremy Toth on the DAW. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.